this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This Saturday the 3rd, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes, or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Ron Mars. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight,
but those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, Master of the Core. It is.
I'm Will. Hey, everyone.
And this episode, we start a new era as we start covering New 52 as it pertains to all things Lantern. So, yes, we're starting, well, at the beginning, just with the first arc of Justice League. By some guys named Snyder and Lee, who no one's ever heard of before.
Johnson Lee, I thought.
What? Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm thinking Scott Snyder. Yeah, Jeff Johns. Yeah. No, yeah, Scott Snyder was Batman. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Which we were talking about.
Yeah.
And you said the name, so now you've got to do it.
Yeah, well, I'm my hand was already moving, sir, yes. I'm sorry, I said Scott Snyder because, yes, we were talking Batman, and I was thinking,
Batman, my favorite character.
That's where he plays games. That's where he plays games, kids, on YouTube. You can watch him with his decks, sometimes one-handed, sometimes two-handed, so... There's always at least one hand on that deck. All right. So, do we have any Green Lantern news?
I don't know
if we've had anything since we talked last time. We talked all the Comic-Con stuff. And
yeah, because we talked about Green Lantern Dark. We talked about Absolute Green Lantern. We've got the Civil Core coming up, the special.
Star Sapphire is going to be in the new Justice League book by Mark Waid, who we'll be talking to soon in a few weeks here, kids. So
that, yeah.
We'll definitely I'll definitely ask him about that.
And we need to let him know that it is Cosmic Karma.
Yes.
That, now that he's writing a weekly series, he has to bring Kat Matui back.
Yes. yes. Oh, I have watched the entire 10-episode season of Batman Cape Crusader, and there is no Green Lantern in it, so.
Okay. Was it good?
Yeah, no, I like it. Yeah. I mean, it's not Batman the Animated Series, but I think it's a good spiritual successor. It's more very Golden Age, it's.
Oh, okay.
Again, like Lil said, it's very, but like the Animated Series, it's very, oh god, how do you say that word? Anachronistic.
Anachronistic.
That's not. I don't think so. She said it, but yeah. So they're all driving around in old timey cars and stuff, and it's a little.
But it's modern era.
It's little glove. Yeah. It's little glove Batman. Yeah.
Nice.
But they do some deep dives, man. Spoiler. I mean, again, you get your Catwomans, you got a Clayface, you got a Harley, but there was an episode with Gentleman Ghost.
Wow. Okay. That's some deep nerdery there.
Mm-hmm. I was like,
nice.
Yeah, you're actually
Very
dealing
nice.
with magic. I was like, nice.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, there's I don't think they still have not cast Hal and John yet for the series.
I haven't heard anything yet.
Last time we checked. But I did see. I don't think it's out. I think it was. I saw it on Reddit that there's going to be a Red Lantern omnibus.
Oh.
Red Lanterns, I guess. Yeah, Red Lantern.
Probably.
Or was it Red Lantern? Anyway,
I think it was Red Lanterns, wasn't it?
I don't remember. We're going to find out real soon. But it'll also include the Supergirl issues, I think.
Oh, nice.
That it crossed over with, and some other crossover issues, I think. It's going to be a pretty nice looking, omnibus.
So is it going to be a huge omnibus with the whole series, or are they doing like
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find that.
I was going to say that way. I was going to say maybe if they were doing two, because again, if you're doing no, I guess Red Lanterns probably didn't make it to 52 issues, but
yeah, I think it only made it like 29 or.
Oh, okay. Then you added the Supergirl issues. It's probably like 30 something. Okay, that's an omnibus. Yeah. I was thinking it's like over 50. Yes, it is Red Lanterns plural.
Gotcha.
I'm actually on the app, so hold on. I'm scrolling here. Oh no! Red Lanterns made it to 40.
Oh, okay.
So
let's see. I am.
So you added no Supergirl issues. It might be close to 50.
Yeah, and also I think that there was.
Oh, there's also they did a Futures End event. Everyone got a whatever the title of the book was, Futures End #1. So Red Lantern's got one of those.
Yeah, it looks like it collects 0 through 27, 29 through 40, Stormwatch #9, Supergirl 31, the Green Lantern Red Lantern #28. I guess that was a shared flip book issue or something.
Yeah.
Green Lantern Annual 2, Red Lanterns Annual 1, and Red Lanterns Futures End #1. So that is 41, 42, 43, about 45 issues. Yeah, that's going to be a nice chunk of comics.
Oh yeah, I kind of sort of remember that flip book because if you look on the app here, yeah, for Red Lanterns it goes 26, 27, 29. They don't put 28, I guess, because they just put it with as Green Lantern.
Or with Green Lantern, yeah. Whatever.
Digital, you could do it twice. Yeah, what was I gonna say? But yeah, again, supposedly that show's still coming. How long have we been talking about that show?
Since we've been running as maybe not that long.
I'd say probably at least 2 or 3 years, maybe.
2 or 3, I would say. Yeah. What are we at? We're up to 180, so that's
184. We're at.
Yeah. So that's 3. That's 3 years is 156. So we're over 3 years already. So yeah, it's been a while. We've been hearing about it. We were probably talking about it when our buddy Matt was on.
Maybe, yeah, man. Probably early stages. Yeah. Hell no.
Yep. But yeah, I don't know that anything else is coming down at the moment.
No. So, should we get to tonight's issues?
Oh,
you would think these were Brightest Day or Flashpoint issues, Will.
I know. As much as, I think Jeff Johns has done for Green Lantern, and as awesome an artist as Jim Lee is, these didn't hit for me really at all.
Yeah, like I said, there's except with the exception of like the regular Lantern series books and the Bat books, yeah, a lot of New 52 just left me kind of, but again, prove me wrong. Again, I mean, God, how many 13 years? Well, at this point from 2011, 13 years after the fact, so we'll see. Yeah,
I mean, we'll definitely see, I guess there's little things that probably annoyed me because I'm a long time a long time reader. Hey, that's a Mother Box. You have to know about Mother Boxes because John blew up a whole planet.
Yeah.
Right. Because you know about the New Gods. No, but Darkseid comes through and we're going to stab him in the eyes. I'm like, whoa, that's weird. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of. Again, I'm going to try to look at all the New 52 stuff with like an open mind. But I just remember being like, I wasn't too happy with them rebooting everything, but then I was just like, boy, was this what the Silver Age fans felt like after Crisis hit?
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Well, as I was reading this, and I think we talked about this, before we went live, is that this is what they based that really annoying animated movie on.
Yeah, what is that, Justice League War or something? Yeah.
I'm like, so I'm just going to say it, right? I don't care if you're Batman. You shouldn't be able to take a Green Lantern's ring off his finger. I mean, come on, man.
No. People love the Batman.
I love Batman.
I thought that was super annoying in the movie, and I thought it was super annoying here, which is where they got it from. So there you go.
Yeah, we'll get to all this. Yeah. But again, they thought this was, the whole New 52 was going to be this huge jumping on point for all these new fans to jump on. As far as I know, it had the opposite effect. A lot of longtime readers, I know, who were just like, nah, I'm good. A whole new continuity, nah, I don't need to learn about that. I'll just call it quits here.
It's all good. I'm done. Yeah, which is not necessarily fair to a lot of the New 52 books, because I think that there were probably, the Green Lantern book was still the Green Lantern book that we love. So, I mean, and Green Lantern Corps is still the same core book, right? Mm-hmm. Plus we get Red Lanterns, plus we get New Guardians. So, New 52 was great from a Green Lantern standpoint. Mm-hmm. But I don't think, a lot of those people jumping off, I think a lot of those titles that were relaunched, it wasn't necessarily fair to them because the event caused people not to check them out.
Exactly.
Right? There were some really good books in the mix, but there were 52 of them, right? There are 52 books. You're not going to be able to just get all 52 and try them. I mean, that's a budget buster right there, right?
They committed to the bit, man. That's all I'll say. They committed to the bit.
If you're going to do it, commit to the bit, right?
Jeez. Yeah. And I tell you what threw me again. Jim Lee, great artist, love his work, but it's just like the armored looks on some of these characters. I'm just like Superman. Superman doesn't need armor.
Yeah, I know.
Most of the time. And even like the Flashes look kind of armored, and I'm like, yeah, nothing's not. I remember back then I was like, yeah, nothing says super speed like big bulky armor.
Armor, yeah. And this may make me a pariah when I say this, but no, not that pariah. But this, sorry, that was the crisis joke there. All right, I really did not like the design of Darkseid.
Oh,
I thought they changed. It just didn't work for me. I don't know. But to be honest, there was a lot about these 6 issues that just didn't work for me.
Yeah,
as a whole.
Yeah, you can't go too sassy with Darkseid now.
Yeah, and honestly, the art was beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Some of the design,
Jim Lee,
Jim Lee art, yeah. But I don't know. I guess we'll get into it. There, hey, I just won a football scholarship. Hey, now I'm Cyborg. That happened in like 10 minutes. I'm like, what the.
Well, yeah, I guess they were trying to get to the point. So
yeah, I mean, it was just this breakneck pace, and I didn't really feel like we ever got introduced. I mean, this is an introduction to these characters because it's a new continuity.
Yeah,
and
they kind of wanted to get to the present, I think, but they're like, oh, okay. It's a brand new universe. I guess we got to do because like they did this arc, and then over in the ones that Action Comics was Grant Morrison, I think, did kind of like the revised Superman, yeah, with the T-shirt and the jeans, or as Lilith and I called him at the time, Casual Friday Superman.
Have you read those? Because
yes, it's been a while, but I have. Yes,
there are a lot of books by Grant Morrison that I really like. There are some that just don't work for me because I'm me, and it's nothing on Grant Morrison. It's just that they're not meant for me, and it's okay, right? Yeah. But I've never checked out those early Action Comics. So is it worth checking out?
I mean, for as far as I can remember, I think so. Again, it's been so long since I read those. It's probably been almost a decade since I read those. Yeah, I thought they were okay. I mean, again, with the whole New 52 thing, I just thought they just took Superman in such a wrong direction because once again, he didn't have the parents. They kind of like isolated him, and it's just like no. Superman's supposed to be like the people person. No.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the Batman.
Yeah, and that was we'll get into it since we're gonna tackle these issues. I assume one on one. We're gonna take them hand to hand, right?
Yeah, we can do it because we got a big meaty synopsis here. So
all right.
So yes, we start off. Yes, Justice. Again, this is only Volume 2, but that will change. Justice League Volume 2, Number 1, from November 2011. Justice League Part 1. Writer, as will correct me, Jeff Johns. Penciler Jim Lee. Inker Scott Williams. Colorist Alex Sinclair. Letterer Pat Rousseau. And editors Eddie Berganza and Rex Ogle. Batman is pursuing one of Darkseid's parademons across the rooftops of Gotham, while the Gotham police pursue and fire upon both of them from helicopters. Batman blinds the police and the helicopters with smoke bombs, then stops the parademon and is attempting to interrogate it when it lets out a burst of flame, forcing Batman to release it. As Batman and the parademon face off again, Green Lantern Hal Jordan interrupts the fight by slamming a fire engine construct into the parademon. The Gotham police continue firing on Batman, Green Lantern, and the parademon, but their fire is blocked by Green Lantern's shield constructs. As Batman and Green Lantern talk, the parademon recovers and destroys the police helicopters, but Green Lantern creates bat constructs which hold up the helicopters and prevent the heroes from getting injured. As they follow the parademon into the streets of Gotham, Batman suggests that Green Lantern return to Coast City since Gotham's mine, Coast City is yours. Green Lantern responds by saying that the entire space sector is his and he was alerted to an unauthorized extraterrestrial presence in Gotham. Batman and Green Lantern move underground in pursuit of the parademon. Green Lantern asks Batman whether he has any powers. Batman replies, no, to which Green Lantern replies, hold on a second, you're not just some guy in a bat costume, are you? Are you freaking kidding me? Batman then holds up Green Lantern. Hold on. Yeah. Let's see. Even the screen didn't like that part. Batman then holds up Green Lantern's power ring and asks him how it works, upsetting Green Lantern, who asks if Batman would really want to pick a fight with someone who can create anything he can think of. Batman says that he'd be worried if he thought Green Lantern could think. Batman then points out the parademon attaching a father box to a sewer wall. With a shout of "For Darkseid," the parademon blows itself up, attempting to kill Batman and Green Lantern in the blast. But Green Lantern creates a literal safe construct to save them. When Green Lantern attempts to scan the box, the ring can't identify it, which Green Lantern says is impossible since the Guardians know everything.
Ish.
Batman says the box looks like some kind of alien computer, and the two agree to go to Metropolis to ask the known extraterrestrial Superman about it. Meanwhile, at a high school football game, wide receiver Vic Stone impresses several college recruits. After the game, the scouts all want to talk to Vic. In the meantime, a despondent Vic is on the phone telling his father, or his father's voicemail, that his coach won't let the scouts talk to him without his dad there, and that they won the game, not that his dad would ask. After he hangs up, Vic, along with most of the team, runs outside to excited shouts as Batman and Green Lantern fly overhead in a jet construct. One of his teammates asks Vic if his dad studies superhumans, and he says that while he does, he never talks to him about them. After landing in Metropolis, Batman criticizes the jet construct as being too visible while he and Green Lantern look for Superman. Green Lantern's ring leads them right to him, at which point Green Lantern encases Batman in a cage construct and tells him that he can also handle it. A moment later, Superman, using his super speed, knocks Green Lantern through the cage construct and into a pair of parked cars, apparently knocking him unconscious. As Batman begins to rise up from the ground, Superman looks at him and says, "I don't handle easy, so what can you do?" So yes, kids, end of issue 1, we're already getting to a Batman-Superman fight.
Yeah, I don't know.
God forbid any of them is smart enough to talk it out.
Yeah, I mean...
but we're getting to the age of the Snyderverse, so...
I really have a problem. This book was the first release of New 52, right?
Yeah, this was the first one, yeah.
And they set it 5 years in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and then they give us very minimal, I mean, almost no context for the world, this new world that we're in.
Oh, they did that with everybody, yeah. They hardly... I don't think they thought it out a lot.
I mean, how we slowly get introduced to the Justice League.
Yeah.
Which is missing the Martian Manhunter. Sorry.
Oh, God. Yeah. What is it? I think when they start, they throw him in Stormwatch, and then they put Cyborg here, and I don't know why.
I mean...
I mean, maybe because did they know Cyborg was going to be in the movie? I don't know. Yet again, that kills all the history he has with the Teen Titans.
Exactly. I mean, he is a Titan. I mean, he is in that seminal Titans run by Wolfman and Perez.
Yep.
That is just, that outsold the Uncanny X-Men for a while, right?
Yes. And that's more history. It's like, because when they start this, Dick Grayson is Nightwing. It's like, so what? So Cyborg wasn't there? I mean, did the Judas contract not happen?
Yeah. I mean, and, we can always go back to Jon Stewart and, the whole Banshee thing.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many holes. It's like, so did this happen? Did this happen?
Yeah, and I think what the Batman title and what Green Lantern Corps, Green Lantern New Guardians, and Red Lanterns do is like they just don't care.
Oh.
This new continuity doesn't affect them much until Jeff John leaves the Green Lantern books.
Mm.
Then it really does.
Yeah.
And I think it's more often than not to the detriment of the titles, but that's just my opinion.
Because again, too, I think it's like, yeah, Jeff John's Green Lantern stuff was selling so well, they're like, okay, yeah, you don't have to play by the rules. Then the minute he leaves, whoever comes in, they're like, yeah, you got to play by the rules.
You got to play by the rules now, yeah, exactly. So, I just...
But they didn't think the thing out. I mean, again, this universe is only supposed to be 5 years old after this flashback. But meanwhile, Batman's had all his Robins, so it's like he's had like a Robin a year or something.
Mm-hmm. He gets a new one every Christmas.
Exactly.
So, this is a really rough entry to the New 52, and I don't know, the tone is a bit different too, and I mean, I don't know if Johns is doing that on purpose. I love the art. It's Jim Lee, right? freaking Jim Lee. So the art is amazing, but I feel like there's some missteps with the designs. You're right; they look kind of all armory, and just the whole breakneck pace of these first 6 issues. We don't even really get the names of, hey, it's Barry, hey, it's Hal, and
Yeah.
I'm Bruce Wayne. I'm going to take my mask off and go fly and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to me that they are unnecessarily combative with each other.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know if they wanted a darker tone. Like I said, Snyderverse is coming. But again, I mean, if you want Batman to be a jerk, fine. And again, I mean, if you want Hal to be the way he was in this, okay, maybe you're saying, okay, he's a brand new Green Lantern, maybe. But Superman
he's an arrogant jerk. Yeah.
Superman is not the guy to to start the fight. Be like, come on, bro, coming at me, come on, bro. That's not Superman.
Yeah.
I don't care what continuity this is. Yeah, come on.
And I don't know what they did to Wonder Woman, because I hadn't read Wonder Woman in a long time, but this does not seem like the Perez Wonder Woman from the previous continuity at all. And then, Aquaman's a bit of a cipher,
Yeah.
So I don't really feel like his was too much, but I don't know. It was just a breakneck pace. The tone was a little bit darker, and it just didn't really come together and gel for me. I mean, it's still a beautiful, freaking beautiful book, but I didn't enjoy it,
Oh yeah, no. I was gonna say, should I do all these synopses, or should we just pick and choose?
Whatever you want to do, man.
I don't know. I'm already like, oh Lord. I'm just drumming through here real quick. I mean, yeah, again, like you said, it looks good, but again, the armored stuff really doesn't do it for me, especially some of like Superman, Flash.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I don't really, coming back to that whole kind of planning and lack thereof necessarily with the New 52. Pandora. It was Pandora. Sorry, I'm mixing up my Greek myths there. Pandora, I think, was going to have something to do with the New 52 in depth, but then by the time it came to it, I think she was just killed off in lieu of Dr. Manhattan, right?
Something like that, yeah, I think. Again, it's
been a while. And there's that secret history of the New 52 that was published on some comic website like a couple years ago, I think, which was interesting reading. But, I mean, if you're going to say that, hey, the Justice League formed 5 years into this, Superman was the first one, so there's no Golden Age characters, none of the...
Well, I think they went back to the old, Earth 2. Yeah, there was that, yeah. Mm-hmm. They went back to the whole Earth 2 model. That's where the Justice Society was at. Yeah.
Which is something I like.
Yeah.
But
they kind of de-aged all them, too, since they were on Earth 2, I think. Yeah.
Well, and why 5 years? It just seems so random. I mean,
yeah.
When you get right down to it, Justice League was around extraordinarily early in pre-crisis and post-crisis continuity, right? I mean, I know they messed around with Wonder Woman being there, then not being there, then being there, and all that goofiness, along with the Hawks and everything. But it was...
They kind of wanted the universe, I think, to not be too old, but they didn't want to, build everybody up from day one, show every step from day one. So they're just like, okay, here's a couple quick flashbacks, and we're 5 years into this. It's like, okay, well, did everything we know happen, or what things happened, what things didn't happen? And again, I don't think they thought about half that stuff.
Well, and I mean, that's, in my opinion, of course, which, is mine, and that's about all it's got going for it, is that continuity, and yes, I'm a bit of a continuity nerd, but that continuity is not just there to be continuity. It's also there to add layers to interactions with other characters, right? Yeah. I mean, this Vic Stone talking to Dick Grayson in this continuity, they've lost all that, right? Because they weren't teammates forever. They didn't live through the Judas contract. They didn't, experience those things.
Him and Beast Boy were best friends. There's none of that now.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't see how writers, how are they going to know, well, how can I write this character if I don't know who he is and what he's done? If he's truly a new character, that's one thing, but these aren't really new characters. They're versions of characters that have some as yet undefined history. So, let's take, for instance, the moment at the end of Green Lantern Emerald Warriors, number 13. Batman punches out the bad guy, and Guy Gardner says one punch. that plays on previous. That's using previous continuity to your advantage. I've always liked the Kurt Busiek school of continuity. If it helps tell your story, use it. If it doesn't, ignore it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And even if you don't like explicitly use it, there's still like that foundation there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's no. That's always my favorite writing. Maybe just because I'm an old nerd, but it's just like, you know, when they take stuff that's come before and builds on it.
Yeah.
Again, give it your own twist, make it original, but work with, you know. But there's so many writers who just like think they got to throw out everything and reinvent the wheel every single time.
I know where this is going.
Spend this.
Well, but actually, I'm actually kind of glad you mentioned Bendis, because
that's a first.
If you look at New 52, I got that. If you look at New 52, I think it's like DC trying to do what Bendis and Bagley did with Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Except do it at a universal level. Now, and the thing about
they were trying to Ultimate Universe their main universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing about Ultimate Spider-Man was that what Stan Lee told in 8 pages took them 6 issues.
Yeah.
Right. So that breakneck pace that we saw in Justice League was certainly not there in Ultimate. It was perhaps the opposite extreme of that. And you know, it worked.
Yeah.
From the Ultimates, right? From Ultimate Spider-Man standpoint. And they were on that book for, you know, almost a decade, right? Doing Ultimate Spider-Man. With this, I mean, it feels like we went the opposite way from a pacing standpoint, and we didn't start at the beginning. We started like halfway in. It was just unnecessarily confusing. At least as a reader that was reading then and is coming back to it now, it still seems unnecessarily confusing.
And I think it's even been confirmed by writers and stuff. It's like they didn't like plot out, oh, okay, well, here's the stuff that happened or didn't happen in this new continuity and stuff. And I'm pretty sure, is it Fabian Nicieza said, was he working on Legion of Superheroes or something? And he went it off pretty almost like within the first couple issues. And I think his editor was like, can you at least give me like the first arc and let me find somebody? Because I'm trying to remember who was complaining. Oh, was it Scott Snyder? One of them was like the story is like he was on his cell phone in like a Target or something, just like screaming at somebody like he wanted like gone or off the book or something.
Yeah. Or Batman wouldn't do this or something.
Yeah.
I've got to have this. I think that was, I kind of sort of remember that story. I mean,
it wasn't a clean, easy transition for a lot of them. Yeah.
Well, you know, and the thing is, this could have been done. You know, hindsight being 2020, this could have been done much better. But I think you're right. I think the way that they did it with replacing the existing universe, instead of being a great jumping on point for people, it became that, oh, okay, it's a great jumping off point. Hey, the New 52, I'm with the old whatever, you know.
Yeah, and I think it's a mistake, and it's kind of somewhat what they did with Crisis too, where it's like you're going to reboot your whole universe, but then except for a few flashback stories, you're going to jump 5 years into this thing. It's like, no. You want to reboot everybody? You reboot everybody, including Batman and Green Lantern, and you start everyone at day one, and you show us from day one.
Exactly. I mean, and that's...
But they got greedy, because it's like, well, we don't want to wait a year or two for, you know, all these bad villains or Harley Quinn to be introduced, or, you know.
Well, and the thing is, too, I mean, look at all the hard work that, you know, Jeff Johns and, you know, Carlos Pacheco and Ethan Van Sciver and all of the artists that were on the Rebirth era Green Lantern pre-New 52. Look at all the work they put in to give us that new continuity for Hal Jordan and for Guy Gardner and for, you know, the whole everybody in the book. And now it's sort of still there, except it's not after a while. So.
And that's the other thing. This universe is 5 years old. And Kyle Rayner is a Green Lantern in this universe already. So it's like, that's the question. So did Hal Jordan become a Green Lantern, go through all the hard traveling heroes thing, the Emerald Twilight and everything, and then, you know, become Parallax? Kyle comes in, all that. Did all that happen in 5 years?
I don't know. I mean, he's a new Green Lantern apparently, according to this Justice League. So if he's just
well, I mean,
got
this
it.
is the flashback,
Yeah.
but when we get to the Green Lantern book
Yeah.
and the universe is 5 years old, so it's like, okay, so he made a rep as one of the greatest Green Lanterns of all time, and then, ran on went on a road trip, and then,
we're on battery explosion number 32 at this
exactly.
point.
In 5 years, the core's crashed and burned at least 3 or 4 times. Have we done all that? Yeah.
Yeah, it just, I mean, a sliding time scale works great, except when it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right? And
Maybe they should have kept it vague and just been like years, when they did these, they go years ago, and then be like, oh, we're years into it, but we're not going to tell you how many years we're into it. We are.
Another thing that really kind of bothers me about this is how kind of easily Darkseid is defeated,
Yeah, you kind of reduce him to like a Saturday morning villain. It's like, I'll be back.
Yeah, it, again, and you and I have been over this many times. Kirby is Kirby.
Yeah.
But
I know, I feel the same way.
Yeah, the new gods just don't speak to me. They speak to a lot of people, and that's great, but they don't speak to me. But this seems, it seems like they're just going to grab Darkseid because he's recognizable when, we know what his motivation is, but they're going to defeat him that easily. Well,
I get it too, but I mean, you want, like, I guess that, these days especially, it's like they want a huge threat to make it worth it. To say, this is why we need a team of Superman and other peoples, because there's a huge cosmic threat. And of course, had Zack Snyder's Justice League been received well, the sequel or whatever would have been Darkseid and stuff. So I get it. That's where they were going, but
yeah, it just doesn't. It didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Again, a beautiful, beautiful book. I mean, it's by Jim Lee.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
It looks great. Yeah.
But it seems to fall apart for a lot of reasons that don't necessarily have to do with the issue itself, but decisions made about this is the story we're going to tell that introduces us to this new universe 5 years ago, not 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
And I get your issues with the breakneck pace. It's like, oh yeah, we're all pretty much loners, but we're all going to meet in this like 6-hour period or something.
Yeah, exactly. And boom, there we go.
And defeat Darkseid.
Yeah.
But we also see, like when Hal calls Barry in, he's like, these two know each other. Are we going to get that story anytime?
Yeah, exactly. And I also kind of think that if there was going to be one character that got more characterization, that got more attention, it should have been Cyborg.
Yeah, because everyone else had their own book. Yeah.
Because everyone else had their own book, but he still comes off as, a little bit of a cipher who just gets promethium thrown on his body, and there you go. Now he's the Deus Ex Machina that, sends Darkseid home with the father boxes, right? So, yeah, it's just
so weird. Like I said, I know, I guess he was in the Justice League movie. I don't know if that was the whole thing, corporate synergy, or if they wanted a person of color, but there's so many people you could have done. I mean, would you have had a problem if John Stewart was the first Green Lantern in the Justice League?
With the way the Green Lanterns are now, John Stewart being the first one, I mean, that fits with the cartoon.
Yeah.
Which most people know anyway. Why would that matter? I mean, but then that would immediately fly in the face of all the continuity that had just been established in the Green Lantern book.
I know. But it's just, or you have Vixen, or there's so many other people of color you could put in that slot without bringing in Cyborg and saying, screw that Teen Titans continuity.
Yeah, because the Titans, I have a theory about the Titans. I really think that Wolfman and Perez did some amazing work on that title. And then Perez left, and that's probably when Wolfman would have left.
Yeah, because didn't Marv ride it out to the end? Yeah.
It was a slow downward death spiral kind of after that.
Yeah, I think it was such a collaboration, but that was the secret of the success, is the collaboration between the two of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. If that would have happened, then Titans would have, maybe a bit of a better rep at this point.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have been slowly strangled over the course of many years, and just, died. They would have died suddenly, or, another team might have taken them in a direction that would have kept them popular, Well,
it was so weird, too, because they kind of started, a Teen Titans book, but it was like Tim Drake and a bunch of people, and they were just like, oh yeah, this is like the only Titans team, but it's like you didn't get that, that the classic team we know. But then when they wanted to do that classic team, it's like, oh yeah, there was timey-wimey stuff. Yeah, Dick Grayson and a bunch, Donna Troy, a bunch of those people were together, but no one remembers, not even them, until they had to remember. And it's just like,
yeah.
That's when it gets. That's when, again, there was no planning on, the backstory, the history of this universe. But then all of a sudden, when they want a classic something, and they're like, oh crap, we wrote ourselves into a corner. Well, it's like, oh well, cosmic shenanigans,
Superboy punching the wall.
Yeah, you muddy the waters, and yeah.
Well, I mean, I think at a fundamental level, we want to lose ourselves in these stories, and when there are these things that don't add up, it makes it that much harder to suspend our disbelief, right? I mean, and you don't want barriers to that. You want people to be able to get lost in the story without thinking that, oh, how is Jon Stewart a Green Lantern in this reality of Xanshi? Wait, what? There are no new guys. Whoa,
again, 5-year universe. Did Hal quit and give the and then John get the ring, and then we go through all that and
what about Crisis? I mean, that's the only reason Guy Gardner became a Green Lantern again, was because of the Crisis, right?
Yeah.
And one of the outlaw Guardian, I don't even remember at this point.
Did Guy Gardner spend time in a coma? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and then, what of, I don't know. So I'm going to ask this in a different way, maybe. We know the continuity of Green Lantern. We get a really great origin story with Secret Origin. And that retcons a lot of things that are very fundamental to John's run on Green Lantern. You get Atrocitus, you get, the emotional spectrum and all of that stuff. The seeds are planted during Secret Origin, which, takes place, 3 years into the run almost. But how does that affect even post-Crisis Green Lantern? Because, post-Crisis Green Lantern is going to be the battery going out, all the core the Guardians going off with the Zamarans, and then coming back, and then Millennium, and then the relaunch of Green Lantern, the thing that we don't talk about, Action Comics Weekly, and then the relaunch of Green Lantern in the 90s series, right? Which leads up to Emerald Twilight, and then, Kyle for the rest of that series. So that stuff is important because, it's additional flavor that a writer can add to, a character interact, a fight or something, that's going on, oh, hey, but in this one, Hal doesn't know who Darkseid is. Batman doesn't know who Darkseid is. Nobody knows that those are parademons. So they're saying in this continuity that Darkseid uses father boxes and the New Gods use a mother box. Is that?
Again, I can't remember.
I can't remember
the difference, but yes, there's father boxes and mother boxes. Yeah.
So it's little details that kind of chip away at that, suspension of disbelief, and makes it hard to, because you start, well, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. You don't want to do that as a reader, and as a writer, you don't want your readers to do that. So I don't know. I mean, maybe we're being too hard on this, but I don't know. Again, it just didn't really work for me. And even though it was gorgeous art. And Jeff Johns is a writer that has done a lot of great things with respect to Green Lantern and the Justice Society.
But again, I mean, you can only do so much with what, if they only give you a certain amount, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, I mean, and this is probably a harbinger of things to come for the New 52.
Yeah. Again, most of our journey through New 52 here will be through the Lantern books. I think it'll be a smoother ride. Yeah. I'm not going to say there won't be any bumps, but I think it'll be smoother in the Lantern books.
So is it okay that since we're talking about a completely new continuity, I've dropped Pariah and Harbinger at this point, as this pretty deep cut?
I mean, new continuity. No one might get it, but yeah, go ahead.
Nice.
Oh, but you were saying you didn't like Darkseid's look, because again, he's kind of over-armored like the whole Justice League.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's a giant, too.
Yeah. I mean, he was always a little bigger, I think, but yeah, not.
But now he's been embiggened,
Oh. Give him the old Miss Marvel, okay. But yeah, again, the art's great. Well, that's the other thing too. It's like Hal's costume is kind of almost looks a little armory, which I'm like, why? The ring makes that suit. It doesn't have to be armor. It doesn't have to look like armor.
Mm-hmm. Well, and as as a Green Lantern fan, so you definitely know where my bias is, right?
Well, yeah.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
There you go. The fact that he doesn't just come in and wipe the floor with all those parademons, and the fact that Batman is able to take the ring off, I was just like, sorry, that just really bothers me. I know,
or this other dimensional invasion. How about we call some more lanterns in?
Yeah, I mean, there's that too. It just, they were unnecessarily combative. The characterizations just seemed off, but they shouldn't, because these are totally new characters who are not new characters, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
And again, the whole Batman unmasking thing, the how, I'm just like, yeah, that you want your modern Batman. Modern Batman don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, I get what they were going at. They were trying to get him and Hal, because they are, they're right. He and Hal are the only two normal humans, that were in the Justice League. Everybody else had inherent powers and abilities, far beyond those of, mortal humans, right? But, I don't know, it just didn't work for me. And unfortunately, I think looking back at the ultimate fate of the New 52, I don't think it worked for a lot of people. No,
because I mean, so they slowly undid most of it, and although quietly, because they're like, oh no, we're not doing any more reboots, but they slowly started, a little bit here over time, and they pretty much rolled most of it back.
Yeah, because we're going to come up at the end of the New 52, which I've not read, so I don't know, but we get DC Rebirth.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know how that works into the previous continuity or not. It's not a reboot. It's just a return to the other Earth that was, I don't know.
Just, there's no, specific event. I mean, unless you count, Doomsday Clock or something. But it's basically just oh no, new writers, and we're he's suspiciously writing closer to the old pre-New 52 style, so, yeah.
Well, and there's Convergence is coming up as well.
Oh, God, yes.
I've read some of those issues, and I'm like, what the heck is this?
It's basically an alien planet under, there's all these domes. Under each dome is a different continuity, okay. I'm trying to remember what the Green Lantern one, there might be more than one. What was the Green Lantern Convergence stuff?
There was Parallax was in a cell, but there was no... Yes. It wasn't Parallax, it was Hal. And then there was, Guy and John were somewhere... I don't remember. It's been a while.
I can't remember. Yeah, but now you may ring that bell. Yes, there was Parallax. Because remember, was that in Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern Corps or something? Eventually, Hal fights Parallax, and there's I think that was Convergence Hal. Because some of them went back in time. Because you had Lois and Clark from pre-New 52 there, and they kind of got sent back in time, and they were hiding because New 52 Superman ends up being a different Superman who eventually gets killed. And then, yes, pre-New 52 Superman kind of joins the Justice League and we don't trust you, you're not our Superman. And then, Mick Pitalik has to do some cosmic stuff, and then they kind of merge everything Superman together. So now everyone just remembers this Superman. Again, a mess. New 52 caused more headaches than anything else.
But we did get some good Green Lantern books out of it.
Yes. Green,
you
red.
Take the good, you take the bad. Yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. Garrett.
That's right. It's the facts of life.
Yes. So, but yes, they defeat Darkseid pretty easily, like we said, and then yes, they form a team.
And then we get that backup with Pandora and the Phantom Stranger.
Yes. I know who you are. I'll tell everyone who you are. It's a new continuity. Nobody knows who the F the Phantom Stranger is anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think that's where they were going, but I'm it would have been cool if the Phantom Stranger would be oh yeah, I remember what happened before New 52.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. I mean, you have to admire the all-in, hey, we're just freaking doing this.
But again, was it all in? Because a lot of the books started, rebooted completely, but then, again, all the Lantern books, Batman, none of them.
Yeah, you're right. And, is Scott Snyder's Batman book with Greg Capullo and the 4 Lantern books that we got, is that worth the price of the New 52?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
I don't either.
I mean, yeah, his first art. I mean, he gave us the Court of Owls. That's the Court of Owls came out of the New 52 Batman. So
I don't know.
I mean,
because
again,
those are the books that everybody points to. I mean, obviously the books that are important to us are the Green Lantern books.
Well, I was going to say, maybe once we get to the end of the New 50, all the Lantern books at the end of New 52, we can say for sure. Yeah. Was it worth the price of admission?
Was it worth the cost in human suffering?
It's like the end of Infinity War when young Gamora is talking to Thanos. What did it cost? Was it worth it? What did it cost?
Yep.
All right. So anything else, or should we have we kicked this one enough while it's down?
I think we've kicked it enough while it's down.
Yeah, like I said, I think we'll have a smoother transition with the Lantern book. So.
Yeah, and I do remember Green Lantern with the character who is the Green Lantern of Sector 2814, how it starts. So I'm interested to see how that plays out, because I had to drop a lot of titles about that point, so I don't know what really happens.
So see, that's another cliffhanger that kind of gets brought over, and
yeah,
we kind of just pick up from before Flashpoint. Yeah,
the Blackest Night happened.
Mm-hmm.
So did Sinestro Corps War, and
War of the Green Lanterns must have happened, because you know who's the Green Lantern. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so yes, kids. So next time, yes, we're going to cover the first 6 issues of Green Lantern, and like we said, yeah, we're going to pick up right where we left off before Flashpoint. You know, Hal's not a Green Lantern at the moment. What's going to happen there, and then yes, in 2 weeks we'll keep going. Green Lantern 7 through 12. And then,
are we? Mm-hmm. When did the Zero issues come in? Did they come in after number 12?
They kind of come in at the end of the first year. Okay. Yeah. But a lot of we're gonna get to those. But a lot of those, they're like, there's some origin there. So I wonder if, like, after the first year, people were complaining about, not knowing the history.
What?
So they started doing origin stuff. Yeah, because Green Lantern, the Corps has a Zero. I think they all get Zero issues also. I'm trying to remember. One of those might be Simon's first appearance, Simon Baz.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it might not be so much of a flashback, so can't remember. We'll get there. But yes, first 6 issues of Green Lantern next time. Boy, it's been a while since we've been able to say that. Since Rebirth.
Exactly. This will be the 3rd time we've said it. Right?
I was going to say, for the 3rd time, yeah. The road back, and then right after, Rebirth, and after Rebirth, and now, yeah.
Yep.
All right, so send us your thoughts, kids.
Were we unnecessarily harsh with
yes.
Justice League?
Were we on the money? Do you
know.
disagree with us? Yes, please. And again, send us your thoughts for the Green Lantern stuff. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Get your new and your classic Capes and Lunatics merchandise. And, of course, the Queen demands that you pay us a fee for enjoying this fine product. So just rain random money on us through the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
Please, please, please keep us from dancing on that pole so we don't get, crushed when the Parademon comes crashing through the wall. Or these crazy Justice League whoever they are.
She looks like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
And, of course, the Patreon, where Lilith and I give you something uncensored and fresh and exclusive just to the patrons every month. July was our road trip to Hershey. August, we'll have to wait and see. Just like I was saying, patrons can request topics, and Justin said he might think up of one, so might get a Justin program show in August. You never know. All right, so find the Patreon at patreon.com/CapesandLunatics, and find it all at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
I don't have to read in these. All right, Mr. Will Allred. Master of the Core, master of the Quantum Zone, master of podcasting, and several successful Kickstarter campaigns. One he's about to mail out this weekend, so take pity on him. It's gonna, oh yeah, 2. That's right.
So yeah, you can find me at Walred. That's at WALLRED. at Gmail and Facebook and Blue Sky and Twitter and other places I'm sure that I'm forgetting. If you'd like to check out the books that I write, Crossover Division is at crossoverdivision.com, and I have Crossover Division number 5 was delivered Friday, so I will be sending those out to all the backers ASAP. Also, Crossover Division Volume 1, the hardcover. It's got a 1 right there. It's pretty. Those were delivered Friday as well, so I'm in the process of shipping those out right now, and probably early September we'll be launching Crossover Division number 6. So the wheel continues to roll. You can check out Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. And you obviously have great taste because you're hanging out with Phil and I listening to us talk about Green Lantern, which means you probably love Marvel's Quasar almost as much as we do. So if you'd like to find out more about Quasar, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org. I'll put it in my navel.
Hey, boys, you look at the party? I love the party.
He goes limp in my grip. I hope it's going somewhere nice.
Well, one thing about those father boxes.
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
Yep, that's right.
Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
We're shipping a package every other day.
Yeah.
All right, and of course.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
I do.
All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. Again, next week, start the Green Lantern book, the new 52 Green Lantern book, Green Lantern 1 through 6. So, a very familiar face has taken Hal Jordan's place as the Green Lantern.
Very familiar punchable face, is that right?
No, not Guy Gardner. Although he's sick of telling everyone what to do, he's very red in the face.
Yes.
All right, kids. Come back next time. And remember, bad attitude and armor doesn't make friends. Don't make friends. Good night. Neither just bad grammar. Jeez.